I'm just like, I'm dog ass fucking tired, and whiskey's the last thing that I want.
Yeah, well, I always keep the supplies to make whiskey sours on hand. So.
Hello, I'm Arthur Perkins. This is APGamingREAL. Welcome to Whiskey Talk, also known as episode 29 of the show, whatever the name of the show is.
Now, are you an ice man or a cold stones man?
Cold stones, man.
I want to tell you a story about how I learned to drink alcohol. It's whiskey based and it's anime based, a combination of all of our favorite hobbies.
I don't. Okay, this will be an interesting.
I know, it's actually really short. Let me just get through it. So you might know about an anime called Trigun with a dude named Vash the Stampede. Early on, there's a villain who's a lawman. He said something really badass like, there's only 3 things in the world that make you a man: X, Y, and never drinking ice in your alcohol, because it dilutes it down. And when I was like 14, 15, I was like, that's really badass. I'm never going to put ice in my alcohol. And so I don't drink alcohol with ice because an anime told me when I was 15 that real men don't put ice in their whiskey.
Except that's like almost completely and entirely wrong, because even a couple drops of water can completely change the profile of a whiskey, especially like things like scotch.
Exactly.
Look at these whiskey fanatics here. I'm just dropping my knowledge.
The Whiskey Vault has an excellent video about it, how just like it just can cause the oils to separate. And I mean, it's all dependent, but yeah, no, that's
I'm a huge fan of taking particular whiskeys and drowning them to be bone-chillingly cold in ice. Like, to me, that's some of the most refreshing shit you can do.
Depends on the whiskey.
Yeah, it really does. But like good, like what I can, like, I doubt it's what it's called like by a scientific term, but I like to call them mixing whiskeys. Like whiskeys you can put with absolutely anything and they fucking taste delicious.
Well, there's some whiskeys that are just good for making things. Like, it's kind of like how some people, they don't like coffee, they like coffee flavored things. Some people don't like whiskey, they like whiskey flavored things. There's some whiskeys that are great for that, and there's other ones, if you do that, just a random Scotsman is going to charge out and then decapitate you with a claymore, because just don't do that.
If you guys ever want to get into whiskey, right, and you don't know whether or not you want to drink it straight or mix it, I would start off with Chivas Regal 12 year, and you can dump as much ice in that as you want. You can mix it whatever you want. You can drink that shit straight, and it will taste good the entire way. So that's probably like my beginner's whiskey, and it's always my go-to lazy man's whiskey when I don't know.
It has a lot to do with the human mouth is not great. That's why like things that are super cold or things that are super hot, like that's why like all really shitty beer is like, oh, drink it ice cold. It's like, because your mouth, it fucks with your taste buds and you can't taste how shitty it is. The same reason why like mess room coffee at work, if it's piping hot, you can tolerate it. But if it's close to room temperature, it's like, oh, this tastes disgusting. It's just because the mouth is not good at discerning flavors at those temperature extremes. It's like most good whiskey, you drink at room temp.
Long Island iced tea. Screwdriver. Appletini.
Screwdriver.
Parrot Bay beer. These are the alcohols I consume. If it doesn't taste good, yeah, I gotta tell you, if there are any Alcoholics Anonymous members watching this show, they're probably fucking dying right now, and I apologize.
Yes, I also apologize.
We've been derailed. This intro sequence has been derailed. Speaking of being derailed,
favorite whiskey to shoot.
Nope.
To just shot.
Delete. Derailed again.
Tullamore Dew, the smoothest of Irish whiskeys.
This stream may randomly end at any moment tonight. A few minutes ago, my skies outside were completely clear. I looked outside and I said, wow, what a clear sky. I literally went outside because it's 95 degrees and my cat was on my back porch and wouldn't come back inside. So about less than 60 seconds later, there was driving sheet rain and you couldn't see more than 20 feet. So I could lose power. I actually already lost power once, so I could lose power again. Yeah,
if I drop, it's because I've got some weather headed my way, but usually it's because I have so much power draw in my office. If the power flickers for just a second, it kills it, so I'll be back.
Yeah, should be fine. Give us a message on Discord or on your phone or something.
Yeah, no, I should be okay, but it's just because I have the AC unit plus the PC plus whatever. It flips a breaker in the garage and I have to go reset it. But
all right, well, This week has been exhausting, prepping for literally everything at the last minute, including the show. Prepped it at the last minute. Well, I guess I got the map done earlier, but I gotta tell you, I bought a new computer. It's supposed to arrive tomorrow, but it actually arrived today. But the memory hasn't arrived yet, and I don't want to move to the new computer until both the memory has arrived and it's Friday, because I have a show tomorrow and I have a show tonight, and if I move over and there's a problem, I'm just gonna scream. I'm gonna roll around on the floor, I'm gonna kick my hands and feet like a child, and I'm gonna scream forever. But I got all of my stuff backed up on the thumb drive. I'm gonna remove my internal drive. Hopefully it all goes well. OBS will work on the new computer. All of my exported profiles will work on the new computer. All of my equipment. But who knows? So
you just jinxed yourself by saying that.
I know. Right? Look, man, I've been jinxing myself all week, but I've been prepared.
He uses OBS Studio instead of Streamlabs OBS, so he doesn't have an auto backup feature that the Streamlabs stuff does. So I was like,
let me tell you a fucking secret. Here's the backup. Fucking take the files, move it to another.
Yeah, but you know how that goes, though. You know something's gonna get fucked up.
I did that, Dave. But you know what? Who knows what's going to happen? It's a new world, so that's it.
It's a new world.
That's it.
What PC you grab?
Some like I buy Power or something on Amazon Prime.
It's a 9900K RTX 2070. It's got like 16 gigs of memory. He got another 16 gigs to go in it, etc. So he posted it in his Discord. So.
Oh,
I think I got another 32 gigs.
How much was it?
Like 1500.
Yeah, 1500. It was pretty good. It was pretty good deal.
For an RTX PC.
2070.
Okay. The 2070s aren't that expensive, but the price on those has come down a little bit since they released the RTX super cards.
The supers.
Yeah. So.
Man. Well, that sucks because man, I'm one of those guys that's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy this PC and never buy another PC. You know.
I did that, and this is the PC I've been using for 7 years. So it's time, Dave. It's time.
I went like first gen i7, and then I kept out in forever, and then I got fourth gen, and then I've got ninth because I got a 9700. But like I buy like I had like a 9700K, and like I already had my 1080 Ti and whatever. And then like whenever I upgrade, I always buy whatever the highest thing is, and then I get like you keep it for however long, so you just end up getting a lot out of it. Like I bought.
Two 1080 Ti's, and I'm worried that there's one card that already fucking destroys both of them.
Yeah. I think don't you have 1080s and 1080 Ti's? I don't remember. It's been a while.
I don't know. It was some shit. Who cares? Doesn't matter. It still plays video games.
Yeah, right. It's like it unless you're running stuff at like quad 4K for the most part. It's like
that's what I want to do. I want to run everything at 4K.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about like.
While streaming, that's like the thing. 3
4K monitors, not just like the one. Like there's the hardware now outclasses like what game engines can reliably do. You can have hardware that could probably push 4K, say 120, but most of the game engines can't really do that. Like the games that are trying to do that aren't there yet because of the whole console parity, whatever bullshit. So it's just like
we'll see. So by next week, either I will be crying tears of blood or everything will be functional. But it's not like I'm getting rid of my old computer. I'm just going to stick it someplace.
You got a dual streaming setup, or are you just doing the
No, I thought about doing dual streaming. I just don't have the space, nor do I have the power outlets to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, those are two challenges that will be impossible for me to overcome. I've theoried it out.
It's also, just like infinitely more difficult when it comes to audio setup to have that sort of shit.
Sounds great, because if there's one thing I love spending time on, it's fixing audio problems.
It solves a lot of problems, but then it makes a lot of problems you never would have had previously.
Welcome to my life.
Yeah. You're like, oh man, I could really make my microphone sound better if I had a compressor. And then you're just like, in order to get a compressor, I need to have all this other shit.
Well, if I'm gonna get that, I may as well get a power cleaner, like a nice
cloud lifter. You throw that shit in there.
Power conditioner. There you go. Power conditioning. Fucking game changing, man.
Oh, now I need to split that to 2 PCs? Huh? How am I gonna do that?
I want to remind you that all of these men roll their eyes when I talk about anime, but we just spent 10 minutes talking about whiskey and audio problems.
Yes, we spent 10 minutes talking about whiskey and audio problems, not 45 minutes talking about bullshit that's irrelevant.
We spent 48 minutes on the intro less. Even Warhammer had a 20-minute intro. That's where I'm at.
Perfect. That is the perfect amount.
Yeah, 5-minute intros. Those are the good ones.
Well, because now it can be like, yeah, nothing's changed since Wednesday, and that's my end. It's just like that's
well, that's
it.
you.
Then,
that's always you, unless it's whiskey based.
BattleTech's on what, Thursday? So I mean, we've got 2 people from that stream that can also be like, yeah, nothing's changed since Thursday, and then just we're we've only got to worry about James,
Spootnik, thanks for the Twitch Prime.
Hey, I'm just trying to set an example.
Let's go ahead and do your intro then, example setter.
Oh, hello. I'm Spootnik. It's lovely to see everyone again.
Are you? You sounded like you were confused.
Sometimes I am. But I'm drinking coffee now that Dave mentioned it, so I might be
Who is Finley Longbottom?
in a few minutes.
Now I understand. You were just walking around and you go, who is Finley Longbottom?
I don't know. I was actually at a party at that house. Oops. I was actually at a party at that house last weekend, and it was still written on the chalkboard wall of their bathroom. So I was pleased.
Did they ever explain it to you, like why it's there?
Nobody knows who put it there.
I think I figured out why that's a thing. So I've been trying to get caught back up on like Critical Role, and on their weekly recap, like the lady that does that has a board. It says who is somebody on that board. I think that's where that comes from.
Possibly. But yeah.
If I were to guess, I'm not, it just, I saw it and I was like, oh, that kind of, I guess if they watch, so if people, watch Critical Role,
This
I
could
just
be
really
it.
wanted to be the Spooty went into a fugue state and wrote it himself and now doesn't remember.
That is entirely possible.
Wakes up
The
in
the handwriting is far too pretty to be mine, though.
Not your fugue state self.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I've been playing or replaying Fire Emblem Fate Birthright.
You getting ready for that shit?
Oh, look at this guy playing easy mode. Oh, shit.
I mean,
look, man, I've been trying to tell everybody that Fire Emblem Fate is the best line of Fire Emblem. Let me ask you a question. I need a confirmation.
Yep.
Do you get all of the adults together in relationships, and then you get all of their kids, and then you give all the kids relationship, and then you have an S-class child army of super soldiers?
Do you want to hear something that might upset you?
Yeah, I'm gonna hear it.
I tend not to fuck around with that stuff too much.
Okay, I don't even know why you bother playing Fire Emblem.
Why would you playing
if you're not going to do the relationship thing, it's fine. I'm not going to get upset.
I mean,
I'm
like,
pulling it back.
I remember, like, if I'm in the castle or whatever, like, I like building the castle, and if I remember to, like, invite someone to my chambers or whatever the fuck, I'll do that. But I really like doing the battles. And honestly, you joke, oh, doing it on easy mode, but if you don't do that kind of stuff, it does make the game that much more difficult, I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of like playing it on hard mode, and I enjoy doing that. Now, in the new one, I've been watching some stuff about the new one coming out next week and a half.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
And that one, because it is like a full console game, I may be, and it has like so like in Fate, you have like basically a day-night cycle, and that's it. This one, the new one, has like a calendar. Like, it almost feels like fucking Stardew Valley meets Persona or something, and that might.
No, yeah, it's more Persona with like the dating elements and like.
What is this dating elements bullshit? No one gives a fuck about that. You need to have 2 units stand next to each other constantly and never let go. Then they all get high-level relationships with each other. Then they have a kid. You go and rescue the kid from whatever trouble they fuck themselves up into. And then you make the kids stand next to each other. All right? Let me tell you something. Ninja Boy and Fox Girl, if you ever separate them, you'll fucking die. Those kids are amazing together. They're so good. That's like the top-level gameplay.
I mean, I tend to keep the main character and what's her fucking name? Azura?
Yeah.
I tend to keep them together, and then
bad. Have you done the combined storyline campaign yet?
No, because I only have Birthright.
Well, I mean, once you beat the game, it'll give you the option to buy the DLCs as downloads.
Yeah, and I have not bought the DLCs.
Okay, all right.
Last Fire Emblem I played was Echoes, and Echoes was far more just like, here's a combat puzzle. Enjoy it.
Echoes was a remake, so it was a remake.
Awakening was more like that as well, if I remember correctly, wasn't it?
I never played Awakening. I only played Radiant Dawn and
Awakening was much more like,
oh no,
here's the battle.
Fire Emblem's Awakening was it was like overworld combat puzzles, right, and romance baby making. Like
but again, I think it was more focused on, well, really, I mean, all the handheld ones, it's pretty quick. It's like you can jump into battles fairly quickly. Apparently on the new one, you can still do that, but there's a lot more involved stuff outside of it, which might be interesting. And I don't know, and I'll have to fuck around.
How long before we're just like fucking skipping through the lecturing shit?
Child army. It's gonna happen.
No,
maybe I'll try that.
There's no baby.
I'm telling you, it doesn't. Listen, man, you've played Fire Emblem before. You have to know that every single Fire Emblem game has like 3 kids, even if it's not the Fate series. Every Fire Emblem game has 3 kids. In the beginning, they all fucking suck. They're horrible. And by the end of the game, their growth rates are so incredible, they're the best heroes. You have to drag their asses right through the early game into the mid game, kicking and screaming, and all of a sudden they go from, oh, what huge babies, to fucking Murder Master Supreme dual-wielding ninja Excalibur. Okay, Dave, let me tell you something. This game will absolutely 100% have child characters, and more than one. I guarantee. I'll put my reputation behind it. I haven't
heard anything about that in the new one.
It's gonna happen. Yeah. It's gonna happen.
Even the PR guy ladies from there are just like, there's no baby making, but you can romance people. I'm like, well, what's the fucking point? I don't give a shit about that.
Nah.
Well, all the Fire Emblem games have the romance thing. You romance them so that you can get the S-class relationship and unlock special extra bond.
Yeah,
right? Because
so
in all the modern games, when you have a greater relationship with someone, it raises the stats of both characters.
Yeah, so there is no weapon wheel anymore. So there's no...
How is this Fire Emblem? I don't understand. What is this, Dynasty Warriors?
There's no weapon wheel, which is very interesting. They apparently say that it's like, I
hate it. I hate it already.
Something else.
All of my hopes just died.
Yeah. So then there is like weapon durability on everything.
Well, yeah, that's normal.
And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, you can like steal other factions, like warriors and shit. Like you can have enough,
that's normal.
You can parties with them to like recruit them and shit, which is fucking weird.
That's how you recruit like a quarter of the people in every Fire Emblem game.
So you leave all the men on the other teams and you just recruit all the waifus, basically. Like,
but then there's no one for the waifus to have S bonds. Oh no, Dave, you're literally gonna play as a harem lord.
Oh, that's interesting.
One way to have no baby making.
And so there's a lot of people who have early review copies, and they're all stopped before like they get like 40 hours of content out of it, and all it is this 40 hours of content in the school as a lecturing. Like, and then the other half of the game, no one fucking knows what it's going to be like. Like, no one knows.
Yeah, no one knows what happens after you finish like the first year of school.
Yeah.
So.
And the first year of school was like 40 fucking hours.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's like Final Fantasy Tactics, the first year of school is like the first 5% of the game.
Yeah, I've heard that the play time for each house on average is between like 60 and 80 hours.
Good. Sounds like they put in a lot of work into this.
So I'm excited. I'm interested to see the different mechanics. I'm interested to see the what are you, like the church or whatever that you're hanging out at in between.
As long as you don't have to blow on a fucking screen, I'll be good.
Holy shit!
It's from Fates.
mechanics?
They use the microphone on the DS. You have to blow into it to blow hot steam off of your waifu's face after they take a bath.
That is.
It's so dumb. It's the worst.
Wow.
Oh, you got some steam on your face.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. You have to be really loud too. Like you could get your mouth right up on the DS and like do it, and it won't register at all. It has to be incredibly obnoxiously loud.
I mean, how else do you remove steam from people's faces?
There has to be someone. There has to be someone in the world that was on public transport doing that shit.
I'm sure dozens.
There has to be someone.
There has to be someone who was doing that, tried to be sneaky and like fake sneezed into their DS. Can you imagine a mom walking up to her kid with, "Oh, there's something on your face"?
Yeah.
Like a motorboat.
Thanks,
kid's face.
Mom. One of the news, not the weather. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been a while since I played Fate. I don't remember a whole lot about it, but I think I'm on just starting chapter 8. So
See, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that because I get fatigued playing games for too long. You know what I mean? Like if I play the same game too long, I'm just like, okay, I've had enough of this. So if I was to like, all right, time to warm myself up with some Fire Emblem, I'd be like, okay, I'm done with Fire Emblem.
Well, and it's I'm not saying I'm gonna play the whole thing. I'm just fucking around with it and stuff just to pass the time. I'm not gonna play through the whole damn game. I mean, how many hours is Fate?
I'm gonna destroy it. Don't worry. I'll finish it for you.
All right, I'll send you my save file.
I'll get them. No, I'm gonna finish my save file.
Oh, okay.
If you get my save file back, you're just gonna be like, why do I have child characters all of a sudden?
Yeah,
and
why are all these kids here?
Why are they so much better than the main character? I don't understand. Oh yeah, fucking Subnautica.
And also, the lady and I have been playing. I picked up this game that was on sale on the Switch called For the King, and it's this.
That's a good game.
Yeah,
it's all right.
It's this like basically it's like a procedurally generated roguelite digital board game, and it's pretty damn funny. I control 2 characters because you have a party of 3, and then she has her character, and basically there's like it was on sale for like I don't know $10-15 I think, but it came with all the DLC, so it has like the original campaign, like a winter campaign, a seafaring campaign, so on and so forth. We're doing one where basically I think it's one of the shorter ones where you just have to clear 5 dungeons. But I say shorter, it's like it takes us like 2 hours in a night just to clear 1 dungeon because you gotta find it on the map, make sure you're a high enough level to get in there, and you have all this like
if you
timers and counters going on that like fuck with you, and it's pretty damn good.
If you like that, Brian,
what is it?
You should check out a game called Armello.
Oh yeah, I've played Armello a ton, and it's the great thing about Armello is that you can play the whole game in one sitting.
Yeah,
this game you can't, which is fine. But
I don't know about that. First time I played For the King, I beat it. So,
well, in once, but how long did it take you?
The first run I failed, and then the second run I did, and it took me 2 hours.
That's on the original campaign.
Original campaign, yeah.
And we may not be, she's not a big gamer or anything, and I've never played the game before, so we're taking our time with it, but enjoying it. And I think it's really good. If it's still on sale and you have a Switch, I'd recommend it. I don't know what the full price cost of the game is, but I wouldn't spend more than $20 on it. But it's got that cool kind of almost like tilt shift style to it, and almost like a old school polygon 3D look to the characters. It's pretty neat. It's fun, and it's different every time you play it apparently. So
I got something for you, Spootnik.
all right.
When you said my lady and I were playing a game, I was reminded that in Japan, they changed the title of The Lady and the Tramp to Bark Bark Story, which is a direct translation of the new title, Wan Wan Monogatari. Bark Bark Story, my friend, a epic adventure of pasta eating.
I mean, that makes more sense than Lady and
we do.
Tramp.
We bark at each other while we eat.
I'm not going to rise to that,
headache.
Henley. You're nope, I'm not going to.
Nice bait, mate.
So yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Okay. Drumurboy, how's it going?
Good. Just writing music. Having trouble, but then resolving the trouble and then being behind schedule.
Yeah, I know about that problem.
Yeah.
How's Infinite going?
I beat it on Sunday.
I know, I was there.
Yep. And then be starting the DLCs probably next Sunday. I'm moving my streaming down to 1 day a week just because like now that Far From Home Season 2 is on Saturdays and I usually don't want to stream afterward. I just kind of play games during it and then do some work after that. Man.
Welcome to getting to the point where you're just like, I could stream more or I could have a life.
I could stream more or I could play the games that I actually want to play more.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna watch me play Dota Underlords on stream because I tried that. I did.
Oh, how is that shit? I've been thinking about that game. I've been thinking about all those auto chess games, but I'm just like,
it's good. Well, like I played Dota Auto Chess, like the Dota mod. So like I couldn't give you like a fresh take on it. It's fun though. Like there's a lot to learn. It's like you're gonna be if you jump into it without knowing anything, you're gonna be frustrated for like 2 hours until you learn how shit works, and then you'll get it, and then it'll be good.
okay.
Other than that, diving back into Warframe, I finally found out how to fish and mine in Warframe, so all my time is going to fishing and mining.
I've heard stories of this Warframe,
Yep.
Stardew Valley.
Yeah, it's the quickest way to get through like the open world. You earn standing and like you can rank up through the standing to get access to better items that you can buy only on those open world planets.
Congratulations, you now have a waifu. Whoever your frame is your waifu.
Rhino?
One of us.
The frame always goes like
Chroma?
no. Right now I'm rocking Oberon.
Oberon's pretty good.
Now I'm building an Oberon Prime finally because I got the systems. I bought them.
Yeah.
And then I figured out how to fucking build a whole bunch of other frames because that was confusing for me for a while. And then I just found out how, and now I'm building like 6 frames right now. They'll take 2 days each, 3 days each, something like that.
I can't stand that shit, man.
Real-time builds.
I actually don't mind it because it makes me stop playing. Like I'm out of money. My frames aren't going to be done for 3 days. I'm just going to fucking go.
Well, the people I know that play it on a regular basis is what they do. They'll get in on like an event. They'll do like a weekend event, right? Where it's like, hey, here's a bunch of stuff. So they'll play it for like 2 days. They'll grind out a bunch of shit, farm a bunch of stuff, and they just let it build during the week. And then like while they're working or whatever, and then they'll just claim all the stuff they built on like a Thursday, Friday. And then they've got new stuff to play with come the weekend. But I'm still just like, I played Warframe when it was in beta and I played it when it launched. And then I had this like 3-year gap. And then everybody I know still plays it. And so it's like, oh yeah, come play with me. And I'm like, I'm so far behind everybody. I'm just like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah. And then like I found out there's like sortie missions, which are three progressively harder missions with mods attached to them, like bows only, or like your energy is in half.
Bows.
There was a bows only one today. And it was that was interesting.
There was a time period where everybody was running bows only because you could completely stealth missions. That was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, but then like the levels are kind of crazy. They're like 55 to 70, 70 to 85, and like 80 to 100 or whatever. And there was no way I could solo those. I found out you can public those because people are running them all the time. So now I've just been running public sorties and public farming missions and everything. When you do it with a party, you get a specific amount more of everything. So that's been fun. Suddenly I've got a power spike. So
yeah, I need to get caught back. I think if I may actually manage to like hammer down and get caught back up to where the people I know who play it are, it'll be a lot better. But it's like now it's just having to play that catch up game. It's like, I can do it. I play for like 2 hours and I'm just like, I can't just fucking no.
Yeah. So. If you have Sedna, there's a place called Hydron on Sedna. If you go pubs on there, you can max out your frames and your weapons in like 2 runs. As long as you can survive. And people are really good about picking back up because the Warframe community is very helpful. Like,
yeah, someone in chat is offering you stuff, Drumurboy.
Yeah. Like even outside of the game, it's like, hey, you play Warframe, we got a whole bunch of shit if you want it. And I'm like, cool. Yeah. I've only met like one toxic player since I've been playing in the last.
It was me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it was one guy that was like, I guess he was just having a really bad day. We were in he was cussing out the entire
Canadian.
team.
You're so Canadian. I guess he was having a really bad day.
I mean,
no, please continue. I'm gonna die.
It's a video game, man. Like, don't cuss us out in the middle of a pub match because you want to do 5 more waves on a defense mission. Like, just re-queue.
Yeah, or just when everybody else says, no, I want to stop, you can go the other direction and say, I want to keep going, and then other people can join that session. Like, you can just keep going. You don't have to rage at everybody in the 10 seconds that window is up for or whatever.
People could join. They generally don't if you're on like wave 15 or 20. They're like, oh, nope. And then just fucking quit. But other than that, just working on Fire Verona Season 2 music, which I finally had a little breakthrough on. It really helps when your technology is working with you. I migrated a whole bunch of like my sample libraries from a drive, from like my main drive to a separate, faster, like 7200 RPM drive. And it got real confused. So I just had to reinstall or reroute stuff to be like, hey, you're not here anymore. You're over here. And now that I did that, every time I open the project, I don't have to relink everything, which is nice.
You got to make some more of that synthwave, dude. We were playing Saturday. We were doing our Dark Inquisition Warhammer 8th edition thing, and I just kept looping. You have a dark synth track that Arthur had loaded into that map. I just kept looping it over. It's like somebody would change it, I'd change it back, I'd change it back.
Yeah,
I listened for often, but it was good, man. I liked it.
Thanks, dude. Where's Arthur?
I don't know.
Is he hiding?
Probably. Or he's choking to death, maybe.
Choking to death on how Canadian I am?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Anyone got any cool Prime stuff?
Nah, dude, I'm broke as fuck.
So I looked at that stuff and I'm like, my God, there is way too much here that is just the same shit.
Yeah, it's the same shit over and over again.
Yeah, I don't even know what I need. Like I was maybe looking for, I could probably get a new like battery thing or whatever, but I don't know.
Also, there's a Warframe TV series happening from the people from Man in the High Tower.
No, there's a Warhammer series happening from the guys who did Man in the High Castle.
Yeah.
They're doing the Eisenhorn book series as a show thing, which would be, I mean, that's a pretty old book series as far as 40K goes, but I mean, it's like.
But as an outsider, that like, if people are talking about Warhammer, they talk about Warhammer books, they usually talk about Eisenhorn.
Yeah, well, because Eisenhorn came out in, I want to say the first book came out in 01 or 02. It's one of the older ones that's still considered, like, that's still, people will still recommend people, like, it's a good starting point. Because it's in kind of a time period where things were kind of stagnant. So it's not super, like, the timeline now is like things have accelerated so quickly because it was 20 years of the same shit. And they're like, oh, we're finally going to move the storyline on. But it's from a time period when everything was pretty stagnant. So nothing's really changed. Nothing, like, it's all still canon, or it's all still part of the whatever.
But
so I mean,
High Castle is good. So he could probably do something cool with that.
I mean, we'll see how they do. But I mean, if they just do what they've done with some stuff and just give them the license, give them the material, because the guy who wrote Eisenhorn is still one of the better authors for the 40K books. So as long as they stick to the material pretty well, I mean, We'll see if it has the same production quality as Man in the High Castle. It should be pretty good. It just, I mean, they would have to try pretty hard to fuck that up because it's a pretty self-contained storyline. It doesn't rely on too much stuff outside like a certain number of characters. So we'll see. But
I have to be honest with you. Probably like 75% of projects like this just funnel money to the author and then get canceled.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a self-contained story, then maybe it should just like do its 1 or 2 seasons and be over.
I mean, you'll be lucky. You'll be very lucky if it ever actually gets made.
Possibly. Other than that, I finished Stranger Things season 3. It's good.
Fucking Hopper, man. Good God. American hero, that dude right there.
Yeah.
I gotta start watching that.
Overweight. Fucking anus destroyer, like
what?
Humble town cop.
What?
Have you seen the Magnum PI thing that someone put together?
Yeah.
Basically, him running around like looking like Magnum PI to the.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Oh, dude, his every single season of Stranger Things, that character is just like wow, so fucking perfectly written, and just like comically badass. You know what I mean? Like just like
yeah. There's the one moment where you're like, you're just starting to doubt Hopper because it's just like mouthing off and being a
yeah, it's such a fucking piece of shit.
He turns out to be right. It's like, oh, I was totally ready for him to be like, oh, okay.
I think I know the part you're talking about too. Yeah. The door part. Yeah.
Yeah, the door in the car. Yeah.
Oh,
so good.
For those of you not in the know, like Arthur probably doesn't want us to spoil the entire season right now.
That's true. I don't.
I've never watched any of it.
So my opinion, the third season was probably the best one.
That's what I'm leaning towards. I really think.
I'll tell you what, motherfuckers, you might say that, but allow me to explain something to you. Stranger Things is a show about Dungeons and Dragons, and all of the season 3 memes are about Will trying to get everyone to play Dungeons and Dragons, and they never do. So you want to tell me the third season is better than the first season? They play Dungeons and Dragons in the first season, motherfucker.
All I know is
season and third season are about the same as far as like good. Season 3 is a lot more. It's
rating from best to worst. 3, 1, 2.
Yeah, 2 is by far the.
There was never going to be any doubt that 2 is going to be the worst.
Yeah. I liked 2. 2 was really good.
2 is all right, but look, season 1 was magnifique. Okay. Season 2 never really answered the important question. Who gives a fuck about Barb? She died in this town and no one gives a fuck. Why has everyone forgotten that Barb exists?
The only things that I know about Stranger Things are just from the bajillion memes that have been posted to the D&D meme subreddit. That's it. Because I don't watch TV shows like at all. It's like I'll probably get around to it at some point, but it's just like
Now we gotta wait until I think the end of August is when Mindhunter season 2 happens. So Mindhunter, man. If you've never seen Mindhunter on Netflix, fucking watch it.
I'm good.
I should.
It's really good.
It's really good.
I'm good.
When does the second season's coming out at some point?
Yeah, end of August, I think.
Oh.
That's what I'm waiting on.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch like the other season of American Gods because I haven't seen that yet.
Oh yeah, me too. Poppy, yeah. Oh my god, I watched that.
Anyway,
but it's like I do that thing where it's just like fuck yeah, my wife can finally convince me to buy Netflix. I can see why people like it, and then other shows come out. I'm just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I do that when I do watch stuff. I do that thing where it's like I'll get something for like a month. They say Netflix for a month, watch everything I want to watch, and then cancel it, and I won't touch it again for a year or longer. There's just so little that I could like. The only thing I watch Amazon Prime, or the Prime TV because I just have Prime, but I have that anyway not for show reasons, just because whatever. But it's like other than that, there's just not enough content, man. I can sit there, burn through content in a ridiculous amount of time.
Man, I
Not
got
that
the
ridiculous. I mean, it's the same time as everybody else, unless you're wreckage
like,
watching shit in
when-
1.25 speed.
When I caught back up, when I watched all of the new Battlestar Galactica, because I was years behind on that, I watched however many seasons of it in like a month.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I was doing like 18 because at the time I was staying up for 18. I was staying up for anywhere from 28 to 36 hours in stints because I couldn't sleep. So I would just watch in that time. I'd watch 18 hours of Battlestar Galactica back to back to back to back while doing other stuff. And so I just watched like 6-8 seasons of Battlestar Galactica so I'll do that with shows, and then I'll just have these massive droughts of nothing to watch.
Which Battlestar Galactica were you talking about? The new one or the old one?
Yeah, the I'd seen the old one. It was whenever they'd done the newer one. I can't remember when that.
I think there's only 6 seasons.
Okay, 6 seasons. Whenever it was, I watched all of it super quick.
I'm midway through season 4. It got real unfresh.
Yeah, but I was already in it
4.
at that point, and it was just like,
yeah. Look, the first time I watched it all through, I was fucking riveted. You know, like everything from 4, 5, and 6. Everyone was like, "Who are the final 5? Who are the final 5, motherfucker? I want to know. Is it the Doctor? Is it the Doctor? Is it the guy who smokes in the corner and only shows up in 1 out of every 10 episodes?" And I was like, "It's not that guy. It's never gonna be that guy." And in the end, I was super shocked as to who the final Cylon was.
Yeah.
It's not the Doctor, by the way. It's never gonna be that guy. Look, I gotta tell you, the way that show ended, where the second to last episode is just the main admiral dude barfing on himself in an alleyway. They were like, "Look, we've built him up for 5 seasons as being some sort of super badass. Let's deconstruct him for the last season." And then they just have him barfing in an alleyway in the finale, and I was like, no, please, no. Don't do this.
Deconstructed all over himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, the final, like, there's a point in that show where they just reach it, or you could just tell where a lot of the cast are like, "Well, we've come this far. Let's just get it over."
It's called the Lost Huddle. You gotta.
Anyway,
Yeah, what do you got?
Stranger Things season 3. Let's play some D&D.
We're not even halfway through intros. Atomic.
Dude, nothing's changed since Saturday. Like,
Henley.
I finished reading the Stormlight Chronicles.
You're all the way
Stormlight
up.
Archive.
Congratulations. You now need to read every other Brandon Sanderson Cosmere novel and then reread Stormlight Archive so you can recognize where all the cameos are.
So I was actually like
Storming Colors, man. Storming Colors.
I'm actually very hesitant to start the Mistborn series. Like,
What's your beef? What's your beef?
Specifically, it is the fact that they made a
Mistborn?
role-playing game out of it.
What the fuck?
And I've watched people play Mistborn games.
Yeah, me. I am the one who's run Mistborn games. The company that made the role-playing game sponsored us. If you Google the Mistborn RPG, I'm the face that shows up, motherfucker.
So with the Mistborn stuff, like it's hard for me to separate like some of the stories that I've seen people come up with from the actual like Brandon Sanderson. I'm about
to destroy you. You ready for this? You ready for this, Dave? They're building a tabletop war game miniatures Warhammer style Stormlight Archives game.
They're also making a TV show out of that, but like it's different if you read the book first before you read. It's like imagine if like you played the board game, or you watched. Like imagine if the only interaction you had with Game of Thrones was via people who played the role playing game, and you're like, okay, that sounds pretty cool. And then you're just like, I don't think I'll ever read the books. Like, I don't think I'll ever read the Game of Thrones books. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I'm going to.
Okay, well, you know what? You can live without Mistborn. Warbreaker is available free on his website.
No, what I'm saying is I started Mistborn.
Yeah, I understand. Go read Warbreaker instead.
Don't tell me what to read, bitch.
I'm gonna look, man. I'll tell you all 18 books and the order to read them and my personal reviews for each one. You ready? We're gonna throw down.
All right, Goodreads. No thanks. I'll pass on that.
Yeah, I thought so.
He's got it tattooed on his arm, man. The order and then like the flow charts.
That's my favorite thing. Like I was looking up stuff about Stormlight Archive after I finished. It's like, and then I read an interview from Brendan Sanderson. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, you definitely shouldn't read Stormlight Archive until you've read these other books."
Exactly. There's a lot of people that get in through Stormlight Archives, but then they go back and they read the other novels, and they're like, "Oh shit, Azure was actually X or Y," and I was like, "That's correct." Now you have to go
what
reread.
I'll say about the 3 Stormlight Archive books that I read, I didn't read that 2.5 book, the Edge Runner, whatever it was, but
that's okay. It's not that long, and it's not. It introduces Lift.
I mean, they did a pretty good job introducing Lift anyway. Through
I know it's just Slidey Girl doing Slidey Girl things.
Yeah, being awesome. So when I hated about half of the 3rd book. Like, I think Brendan Sanderson did a very poor job with the pacing in the first half.
Interesting. There's a lot of people that think the 3rd book is the best one he's ever done.
I don't know if they read it back to back to back like I did though. Like
I read it back to back to back, and we all talked about it when it happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I found it very hard to be interested in anything at the beginning for like at least the 60% of the first. I have
a lot of trouble liking Adolin Colin at all, and all of his story chapters make me want to vomit because he's such an enormous piece of shit.
That's the other problem.
Adolin is a fucking terrible waste of garbage.
I think they need him to offset the heroics of everyone else though, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like honestly, and that's the biggest problem I had with the Stormlight Archive. There's a lot of perspectives I don't give a fuck about, and that's sort of like one of the hardest things about those styles of multiple character books that I have is like, oh okay, it's not about Kaladin. Oh, all right. And it took a long time for me to like the Shallan character. Like it took me a long.
Really? I mean, look, she's no Jasna, but
yeah. Also, I don't know. Like a lot of that.
You're about to shit talk Jasna, aren't you? It's gonna happen. It's all right. Just let it go, Dave. I'll forgive you afterwards.
Your spoiler was way too big for that character, though. You ruined that character for me.
I don't understand, but that's all right.
I'll tell you why. I will write it to you so I won't ruin everyone else.
Okay.
I'll write it to you right now.
Okay. Where are you writing it?
In Discord.
Okay, good. Because I was gonna say if you do it on Zoom, it'll pop.
Yeah.
All right. I'm receiving your message. I can see you typing. This is what we need to be spending our time doing on broadcast, is secretly typing to each other while we're having a physical conversation out loud.
Hey Spooty, did you see that there's a thing called a Tonewood amp that you can put on the back of your acoustic guitar to give you like,
you know what,
real life reverb, like a reverb that you put on the back of your guitar that you don't need an amp for.
Come on now, Dave.
Tonewood Acoustic something or other. I saw it on Instagram earlier today. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Doesn't the 3rd book literally start with a flashback of her? Like a good quarter of every book is flashbacks. So you thought I gave you a spoiler, but you actually don't have any idea. I could be talking. No, Dave.
No, dude. I had.
I'm a fucking yeet on you, Dave.
No, I'm sorry, dude. You spoiled the shit out of her for me.
Fucking yeet on you.
All right. And outside of that, tomorrow I'm releasing a video game on Steam, and we're going to do a company stream. You won't actually see me because I'll be working with Deck, but if you want to come hang out, we will be streaming on the profile for Warlocks 2 at 6 p.m. on Warlocks 2 on Steam at 6 p.m. Central European Standard Time. So come hang out and whatever. It'll be fun. I'll get everyone in my office drunk and then we'll play video games. But yeah, that's me. I'm ready to play.
Fuck yeah.
Does anyone remember what happened last time?
We went to the wrong place.
Cole's notes. Daka plants a Fey Forest in the ashes of Flemia.
Yep.
Gleemo's Fungin might be at the center of a goblin plot involving the City Watch. We grabbed some potions, holy water, stocked up.
We escorted a dude to the Fort
Derek.
operating base pro bono or whatever, but forced him to listen to Henley's sermons.
Yeah, you met Aardvark again.
Oh yeah, we did.
This time you weren't a huge piece of shit to it.
We heard about Brigadier General Ricalto Poricio.
Poricio, yeah.
We also stopped by a witch's shop, who is another tiefling, but she's a employee of Black.
So she's a warlock of Stolfin Black employee. You act like, well, actually, I guess they did sign a contract.
But Stolfin Black, he's not like a patron.
Yeah, no, he's a patron.
What the fuck? Oh, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, he's a patron.
Fuck, whatever. We got braces of archery.
Oh yeah.
We made it to the front lines with a merchant to sell its wares at an inflated price because that's the way he could do it.
Yeah, and we volunteered our services and became swore ourselves to help defend for 24 hours or whatever it was.
You're getting paid 5 gold, and you're allowed to loot any monster bodies that you would like.
Yeah, for the demon parts.
Monster parts.
Also, our curses are back, and we have twice as loud and second verse. You know,
some of you have extra curses, and some of you do not yet.
Yeah, I think I still just have my one, because I think
you hate animals.
Finley and Daka have died more than everybody else.
We are squishier than everyone.
Truth.
This is true.
That's not exactly it, but yes. People who die get more. It's a dice roll.
I did get absolutely fucked by a dragon, so.
And a succubus.
Like you've been absolutely fucked by several things.
And you got stabbed in the back and whatever. I think I've only directly died to the wizard. I think that's the only time I've directly.
Daka's memoirs are death by snoo snoo.
Death by snoo snoo. I mean, look, if you got to pick a way to go.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I died in the first game, and then I didn't die to the wizard. When did I die again?
You got stabbed by all the kobolds.
Yeah,
you got separated from us. You did not die to the wizard because you have the orc, the half orc, the 1 HP thing, and then that might have been, maybe you did die one more time. I think I've died the fewest, and I think Finley's died the most because he was the squishiest of us all.
I think I've died 3 times.
Yeah, 3 or 4. You've died more than including the time you ran outside while we had Daka run down the hallway.
Did I die to the Dragonborn? No,
that was the other 2 died. You and I survived.
What was my other flaw there, AP?
Shit.
I'm gonna write them down now because
That's good because I didn't write them down.
Hey, so I only have 1, right?
Yeah. Finley's is he now has to display his super cool Gleemo symbol at all times.
It's right on my forehead or something, right?
Yeah, you have to display an item of significant virtue of yourself, and the only thing you've been very attached to is that Gleemo coin. What's yours? I forget.
Oh, Daka's.
I have to lie to everyone.
Yeah, he can't tell the truth.
Oh, right. You can't tell truth about yourself. You can't tell truths about yourself.
I hate all animals that live above ground. Or I have no empathy for them or whatever. It wasn't just hate. It was just like no empathy or whatever.
To anyone. It was a qualifier too. I can't tell truths to anyone about myself to anyone outside the group, I think.
No, it's close. Yeah, it's close friends or allies.
Close friends or allies, yeah.
Yeah. That is it.
Yeah, because that would be fucking.
And Kelly's was he can't talk to anybody unless he's face to face with them.
Yes.
Okay. Just trying to remember. Cool.
So the 4 of you find yourselves in the middle of the fortress of Wundersaw, in the employ of Viscount Vice Wundersaw. Around you, the daytime meals are being handed out to men. In this central area, you are near the church. Inside, you can hear someone preaching to goose and guz. There are men all stacked inside of this church, and outside, more men kneel in the dirt and call and what's it called? Call in. I don't remember. Call and repeat. Anyway, they're all
Call and response.
yes, that's it. Call and response. They're all call and response with all of the prayers. Men call to Guz and Guz for protection as the Lady of War. Near you, where you have been given a small area to sit with some stones to sit upon, a druid is handing out her blessings to various injured men. Many refuse her gifts, but others take of the beef that she's slaughtering directly from a cow, eating it raw as she chants a litany to them. You know that when the sun goes down, the enemy will arrive. The battle will be all night long, and it will be fierce fighting. Your job is simply to survive the night. You have been ordered by the Viscount to protect this area, this central area, from aerial attacks or anything that makes it over and past the wall. So on a more tactical note, all of the walls here are 8 feet tall and 5 feet wide. There's a walkway along the top area that acts as like a palisade so that people can like reach down and stab at people who are down at the area. Obviously, there's a moat surrounding the entire place. At strategic locations around, there are stone watchtowers that are 10 by 10 by 30. The church here is 8 foot tall. It's got a flat stone roof, and you can get up on top of it fairly easily. Everything is kind of muddy, except for this crop area that's right by where you're sitting. So someone has planted a bunch of potatoes and wheat, and it looks like the wheat is barely growing, but the potatoes are starting to come up.
This is the church right here that I'm pinging?
Yes, that is the church.
I assume we're all full health and shit.
Yes.
Okay.
So you've got basically a long rest worth of time before night comes, if there's anything you want to do before then.
Daka, what's your range? You're using a longbow, right?
Yep.
What's your what's your effective range?
Well, to remind you, it's going to be dark because it'll be night, so your max range will be equal to the range you can see.
Okay.
Is
So
it like 6120? Is that like min max?
well, you've got 60-foot night vision. I have, or dark vision. I think I have 90 feet dark vision.
Let's consult.
Yes, I do. I didn't think about the dark vision thing, but he's right. Okay, I was gonna say, because my original plan was to have one of us in each of these watchtowers because we would have overlapping fields of fire, but there would be a gap if we were to do that. We can still probably do it, but you've got about a third less dark vision than I do.
So I'm gonna go find Finley
Okay.
specifically, and I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and I'm gonna look him in the eye because I can't talk to him any other way. And I'm gonna say, Finley, is this your first time in an actual large-scale conflict?
Well, no, we've haven't we been in large scale conflicts before? I mean, we fought like an army of halflings.
That was like 30 halflings. That was like a squad of halflings.
It was like a platoon of can we use that as a unit of measurement? A platoon of halflings?
Guys, it looked big to him because he's small.
Oh,
they're the same size as
small
you.
jokes.
So I was like, well, yes, I mean, technically that was a skirmish, but I don't think it's going to be like this tonight. I think it's going to be quite chaotic. So I would ask that you and we stick together. We watch each other's backs. That way we can't get taken by surprise or anything like that.
That's really thoughtful of you, Kelly. I will stick with you.
Excellent.
I touch his thigh.
I also touch his thigh.
You're just giving Zonalar all the ammunition.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is
already
directly
talking about it.
Sonalar bait. Come on now, guys.
This is like the scene in a Mass Effect game right before the big battle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Plus,
You're not
you know,
wrong.
with sizing and stuff, it'll be very effective for you to be able to look over the palisade wall.
It'd be like in Warhammer Fantasy, you'll have like an orc with like a goblin shaman sitting on his shoulder. So Finley can sit up there just firing his little short bow.
You mean Master Blaster? They're Master
Right.
Blaster now.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I get like a little
Halfling.
seat, like strapped onto my shoulder. Like you can sit on the back of my backpack and just
Skygex over one shoulder,
Just build a little platform.
Finley over the other.
yeah.
Fashion Finley, a suit made of spikes, and just eat him into the enemy.
Oh my god.
That would be hilarious.
Nobody tosses a halfling. Nobody.
Zoom range on a longbow is 150, 600.
Yeah, but you get 60 foot of dark vision, which is going to be the limiting factor.
Yeah.
I've got 90. Mine's.
Will there be like fires lit maybe so I can see or
We're
Oh,
surrounded by humans, so I'm assuming
yeah.
Yeah, but the flames only go 30 feet, so
I can make them a little bit brighter.
Ooh.
Yeah, but you'd have to do that consistently, wouldn't you?
yeah, you'd have to concentrate on it.
I mean, I assume we could probably find out if we're in a watchtower. The watchtower is going to be well lit and probably have a pretty good field of fire.
So, I mean, you're allowed to go anywhere you want across this area. You're just responsible for dealing with aerial threats.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, let's get the high ground. You want to shoot them when you can see them furthest off. Plus, if we need to, having that high ground, we'll be able to assist in, you know, shooting anything that's, you know, like you said, what, 30 feet tall?
Yes.
Do you have something that can hit air, Kelly?
Remember that, Kelly.
You think I throw things? Come on now.
Kelly believes that ranged weaponry is cowardice.
Yeah, he has the ability to yeet some spears, but whether he actually chooses to do it or not is another matter entirely.
It's the only way to nerf his character from being too powerful.
At one punch or another, you'll land, and then I'll fuck you up.
Though, to be fair, he probably doesn't need it. He'd probably just jump off a watchtower and hit something with that sword of his.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sword is insane.
It's the fall
Fly
that'll kill
closer
you.
to me. I want to hit you with my sword.
I did
Slot
that
him
in
in a
Warhammer,
catapult.
by the way.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess I could use a bow, but I'm not going to. I don't think it's, appropriate. So I'm not going to. I'm just not going to use it.
Well, you have Finley with you. He's got a bow.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I
I'm
want to.
watching his back.
Yeah. Plus, I can always throw a firebolt if I need to.
I kind of want to wait and see where they divvy up all of the garrison defenders before we start picking spots. I mean, yeah, we can move, but I kind of want to plug any gaps that there might be.
So, I mean, every 5 foot square on the walls is filled with a person.
Okay.
And they have about 100 reserve guys. So their plan is every few minutes, bring somebody down and rotate somebody in because they're going to be fighting all night long.
Yeah, they're doing it smartly then.
I don't know if you can smartly, deeply invade enemy territory
Well, I
and
mean,
then
that's-
post up, but sure.
Well, I mean, that's the way you do it. You just keep your guys from you want to rotate them before they start to get fatigued because it's a lot harder to recover from fatigue than it is just, being a little tired. So it's a pretty big jump.
Actually, now that I think about it, Arthur, is there a way that I can do some sort of remembrance thing for when I fought demons? And if there was any
Sure, if you'd like to enter. So you want to call upon your timey-wime powers to go look at other timelines.
I thought he's just fought demons before. He's brought that up multiple times.
In your memories, then you want to check your actual memory.
Well, I mean that if I can do timey-wimey powers, that would work better.
Okay.
That's more in line with what Kelly is now. Than
We'll
anything.
circle around to that because that'll be part of your long rest. But it'll be a religion roll, so have that ready and have whatever.
Strange. See
Have whatever
all the outcomes.
14,065,000.
How many do we win?
One.
You hold up one finger towards Finley right as he's about to stab somebody. He turns and nods sadly.
That's himself.
Finley, the only way that we can win this is if I strap you to my chest and use you as a portable turret.
So Over the long rest, I'm gonna commune.
Oh, with your god as well. Well, your patron. Excellent. We'll cut back to that in a second. Atomic, what are you doing?
I don't know, maybe try and get a drink in and just, kind of hang out with some of the guys I'm going to be defending. I'm going to say I'm going to find out who's going to be stationed in these watchtowers and just kind of, get to maybe try and get to know them a little bit, just a little bit.
When he does that, I'm just like, I'm going to be dead.
Okay, make a Constitution saving throw real quick.
Cool.
I want to know if you're going to start this battle intoxicated. Nope.
I mean, he's got the powers of de-intoxication.
Is he going to start the battle intoxicated? Yes. Is that a boon to him? Yes.
I'm like the drunken master, right? Just the more whiskey in his system, the better he fights.
Yeah.
Finley.
You see more targets, that increases your chances of hitting.
What are you doing during long rest period? Just hanging out.
Running through the field of wheat. No.
Yeah, don't do
I
that.
would probably. I mean, Finley has definitely drank with Agram in the past, so I would say drinking as well.
Sure.
Oh boy.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
I certainly will.
You do not get advantage. I'm like, well, no, you're good.
Yay!
Yeah, the 2 you get a little buzz, but it's no problem with the 15. What kind of ritual do you go through to call upon other versions of yourself, Kelly? Do you sit on a rock and you do like your legs folded and then you got your hands out and you
know what it is?
Time stone.
I set up a campfire with empty seats.
Okay.
All
right.
And what I like to imagine is the other timelines are doing the same thing.
Make a religion check.
I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm with this.
19. Hey, okay.
So you set this up, and after a few minutes, another Kelly shows up. He's wearing a holy symbol of the god Wellwind, and he takes a seat and he nods to you. It doesn't look like anyone else can see him. He's almost like a silvery blur to you. Every time he moves, you see him move like before he goes.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you take a photo of someone moving a little bit.
Yeah. So he sits. He's wearing a completely different outfit from you. He's got on chainmail. There's a one-shoulder capelet. He's got a holy symbol of Wellwind in the shape of a whirlpool. He's got on a crown. Kind of sits in the chair, puts his arms on the chairs, and says, "So, here we are."
Yeah. The reason I'm calling this meeting, I guess, is we're about to face a whole slew of demons protecting human advances into their territory, or whose territory, I'm not sure. It's not really important, but ideally, I want to make sure that my companions and I live through this cycle.
You never have before.
Interesting. Have you fought demons?
Why would you think we're still here? All of us, we've all failed to finish the job. I fought demons and I can give you a little experience in that, but I want something out of it.
It's very selfish of me.
You lack what I have. I have faith, the god Wellwind. And I look across this fire. Where I am, I'm sleeping, and it's night. And who are you to call me here? You who have profaned the gods themselves. You're me, but from what I can see, you're the worst me. Where's your faith? What do you believe in? How can you call yourself a cleric if you don't have a god?
I am a fragment of that god. What I believe in, what we should believe in, is the fact that life and internal seems to continue whether we're here or not, whether the decisions we make, it doesn't matter which way we go. We've done everything, as you said, we've failed. And the reason that Kelly isn't showing up here who's succeeded is most likely because he's freed himself of whatever curse we have.
It's clear to me you don't understand how this works. None of us have ever succeeded. I'm your past, I'm not your future. There is no future you. It's up to you to make the decisions. And I don't understand why you're fighting Stormlight Black. In our time, we joined together with him. We made the decision that humanity and all of the mortal races were better off without the gods.
But you follow Whirlwind.
I do. I call upon the last fragments of her power after she died. But then we reversed that timeline. We did it again and again, hundreds of times, until we all succumbed to the curse. Except me. I'm just holding in there, barely. You wouldn't even recognize any of them. They're totally different people from who they were before. I see your friends walking around here, young, without the taint of horrible madness. You think you know anything about fighting? I've been fighting for hundreds of years. We made a mistake, but we can't finish this job here. And because you're from the future, I know we failed. So I have nothing to look forward to. None of us, none of our groups have ever finished the job. Kill the gods, kill Stormlight Black. Those are the only options.
And you killed every single one.
We didn't.
Who was left?
The same one that's always left. The god of death. Our sister. No matter how powerful we become, with every god that we kill, she becomes stronger. We would have had to start with her.
You said you've lived 1,000 timelines. Why haven't you done that?
Once they're dead until we reset. Something happens when all of us go insane. When all of us become unable to function. We just loop over and over again, killing each other, sitting in the cave, never leaving, and then everything snaps back to the beginning.
Is there something I can do to help our friends?
No. They're already gone. I'm already gone. You need to make better choices. But I'm asking you, where does your faith come from? I believe in the teachings of Whirlwind. I can see what happens when she's not around. This world, where do you think the rain comes from? Where do you think the tides come from? We were so foolish to think that we could live without them. Could just finish the job. Can you imagine a world without rain?
Yes. The world before the gods.
For the gods, there was nothing, or so the gods say.
Have you seen the truth? Have you touched the crystals?
Yeah.
Have you merged the timelines?
That's not how it works.
Well, if you know how it works, then why don't you tell me?
Make a persuasion check. At disadvantage, because you've disappointed yourself.
Oof.
Also, just to be
As
clear,
intended.
you're
Would you say he played himself?
Also, you're looking very good over there, I must say.
Thank you.
Jesus.
You're not ready. What I can say is the crystal will allow you to live another life. Be able to draw upon the power of someone like me. Just like I've done so in the past.
And what do you believe? Do you believe that we are portions of the old one? The unnamed god?
Not that he's unnamed. He had a name. It's just that he's the first being to ever truly die. There's no believing that. It's the truth. We are that creature. We are, each of us, a drop from his pitcher. The problem is the fifth one, the fifth drop.
It's a fifth.
Where do you think the god of death came from?
The god of death came from the fact that there was a void that needed to be filled, not that it was a part of.
The gods made her
We are.
out of his corpse. That's how they sealed it. That's how they kept him dead. By changing his fundamental nature. Enough. I have to be up soon.
I have one final question for me. You say that this old god was born from the death of the man or the being that we were once. Is there any way that you know of that we can go back to that point?
No. It's impossible. I'm sure someone's tried. But consider, as long as the god of death exists, we can never remake what was once.
And have you faced the god? And they've mentioned that doing so will permanently remove us from these timelines.
Her touch is capable of altering our curse. Yes. Once Finley suggested that that is where these madnesses come from, is her influence upon us. He was a great wizard once. Now he's little more than a whimpering pile of rags. You wish to know about fighting fiends?
Yes. What can you tell me about them?
Fire and ice are meaningless. Magical weapons are necessity.
Right.
Each of them is pure magic. Whatever magic you use against them will be less than worthless.
So how do you fight something like that? With magical weapons, sure, but it's not like we have them on hand.
Then you are in an unfortunate position. I wish you luck. Pushes himself to stand at his full height and then hefts his mace. Starts walking away from the campfire, and as he reaches the light's edge, he disappears. When you wake up, Kelly, you realize that you've been meditating for about 8 hours.
I was gonna make a comment as he's walking
Quick one-liner?
away.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. as he's walking away, before he turns back and looks at me, I say to myself, it's like, yeah, that's Infinity's ass.
Oh my god. It's just gonna be nothing but Avengers references tonight, huh? Daka. You go to commune with your patron.
Mm-hmm.
It's also Kelly. No, it's not.
Killing in a mask.
How do you commune this time? Is it just like sitting around smoking the dope?
Actually, this time he's probably like standing on a tower, like facing like
To the north?
this gigantic, just all-encompassing cloud that slowly starts to tint purple as he goes into a trance.
Okay. So all around you is wood everywhere, right? You're at the top of the watchtower smoking, and the guardsmen who are up there are just like looking at you like, what are you doing, buddy? But when you turn to look, they're gone, and on every log there's a wooden mask carved into it. And so there's thousands and thousands all around you in every direction. So, you've come again, Daka Zilvia, my prophet.
I have.
Do you seek knowledge this time? Or perhaps you ask for power?
I have a question.
Knowledge, then.
How do you feel about the other patrons? Is it an antagonistic relationship, or do you all just not care about each other?
Each of them has something that I need. We are all beings of incredible power, of secrets, of pacts, contracts, bindings, great arcane rituals. If I were to have what they would have, I would be much more powerful than they, for I could add my own power to theirs. And by the same turning, if they were to take what was mine, their power would double. So our relationship is what one might call
Strained.
controversial.
Hmm.
Do you require aid against Alvin Black? You served me well recently. I would offer it freely, if only you complete a ritual for me.
Oh, we are about to face one of his armies, so
Are you? How fortuitous.
for who?
I
His
can
army is
send
made
to
of
you a
demons.
design that will allow you to call upon Fey soldiers. My loyal guard will arrive to help you save your human ally. All I ask is a sacrifice.
Name it.
That church. Perform the ritual there. Convince some young woman in this war camp to kill herself at the center of the ritual, and it will open a portal that will allow my most expendable soldiers to come aid your allies.
I don't see anything wrong with this choice.
Does this need to happen now or at the time of need?
Your time of need is now.
No, that's kind of true. The druid, I guess, then, huh?
There are many women throughout the camp. All I require is that they be full of youth. And that they kill themselves. You can tell them it will be a great honor, their sacrifice. I don't really care. All I need is their dying emotion.
Well, seems I have some convincing to do then.
Good luck.
I will need it. Thank you.
So you take in one last breath, and then you find yourself back on the watchtower in reality. one of the guys is shaking you, and he's like, "Sir, you've been standing here for over an hour. I'm gonna need you to move along. You're not even..." He like points to your pipe. There's nothing in there anymore, okay?
I think I'll look out the tower and like, who it's a like, is there a woman that I'll see outside the tower?
I mean,
Yeah, she's skipping, picking flowers.
roughly half the soldiers here are women, so
Well, I'm gonna try not to take a soldier.
you want to go convince the druid to kill herself then?
Is that the only other option here?
There
there's
are
only
some
soldiers
clerics, there are some like staff accountants, but pretty much everyone here is either a soldier or one of the few farmers, maybe part of the like mage brigade.
Someone a little bit easier to sway than a soldier.
You have something in mind?
I mean, you might be able to find a PTSD riddled soldier, someone who's been on the front line for a while,
Yeah.
who thinks the only option out would be to turn to supernatural means.
Wow.
Well, like the druid already has some sort of connection with nature and everything, so she might be more easy to convince than a soldier that doesn't like if I told a druid that the Fae will come to help us if she offers her life, then that might be, it sounds insane, sure,
Yeah.
but it might work better on a druid than a random ass soldier coming from a tiefling who just came as a mercenary.
Hey, kill yourself, huh?
Like I have 16 charisma, but that's not going to help against a soldier that doesn't want to do it. So I think I'm going to go talk to the druid.
Okay. She's wearing a gray-green camouflage cloak. As you approach, she takes the hood down, and you can see that she's a pretty lovely elven woman, wearing like a symbol of the green faith on a cord, kind of like Finley's Gleamo coin now. She pulls out some like herbs that she begins rubbing into a paste between her fingers and says, "Ah, the warlock, welcome. You require healing of some kind."
No. I actually meant to ask you a question.
She like smells the paste and then scoops it into a jar. Yes.
May I smell? I'm a bit of a herbalist myself.
She hands over the glass jar.
What does it smell like?
It kind of smells like rotting plant that has just been dumped around in with mud. That is unpleasant and rank.
I'll like scrunch my nose a second, be like, and pull out my pouch with my dank weed, and be like, take out a fresh, like the freshest sprig that I can find, like hand it over, be like, yours seems to be a little rotted.
So she takes it and says, "Mine is not for recreation."
Neither is mine.
She smells yours and then looks at you and says, "Then what do you use it for?"
Dang. I don't know if I can
Start the process, bruh.
You go, "Shoot, you got me. It's recreational." That's why I can only carry 6 ounces.
Wow.
It's legal.
That's a lot.
Here, though.
Yeah, 6 ounces is a lot.
Yeah. I guess it'll be like, why don't you take it recreationally? We are on the front lines of war. Tensions are high, nerves are high. Need a clear head.
So she pulls out a piece of flatbread and several other herbs and appears to be adding yours to it. She's like making a weed sandwich.
Edibles, nice.
I like a stomach high, if you know what I'm saying.
The Green Mother thanks you for the blessings that you have returned to her.
I'll take it like a small ration and be like, dink it and sink it kind of thing. Eat together. What I'm hoping is she'll get high and more suggestible. Is there a role for
I'm gonna
this?
hold you. Listen, I will allow this to happen if I can hold it to you that when you smoke your weed, you are also more suggestible.
Yeah, but I won't tell the truth to anyone.
It's the truth about yourself. It's the truth about. It's not that you can't tell the truth. It's just the truth about yourself. Is that why you wouldn't say it's recreational?
I don't know how much of myself is in this. So.
It's facts about you. So, like, if someone asks you your name or what your eye color is, or whether you went to college, not whether your weed is recreational.
I don't know how far this goes.
All right. Okay, it's specifically related to you, about your person.
Okay.
What? I thought it was so weird that you wouldn't say it was recreational.
Like, even her calling me a warlock, I'm like, should I deny that? Should I?
Yes, you could technically deny that. Yes.
Yeah, whatever.
It'd be very difficult because you are openly wandering around smoking weed and muttering arcane rituals.
It's true. Whistling all along the watchtower while walking by the watchtower.
Yeah, it's just saying just Jimi Hendrix in the distance.
No, the Battlestar Galactica version of it on the piano, that was the best part of the whole show. What are you doing here? You seem to have come to the end of the world to die.
These creatures are creatures of a man named Stalvin Black.
Yes, another warlock.
He is not a warlock.
Is he?
He is more powerful than a warlock, if you understand.
Well, that's certainly true. No one has been able to kill him yet, at least.
I'll be frank with you.
Yes.
You are a lady of the forest, believing in power of nature to overcome some things.
Technically a lady of the mountains, but sure.
A lady of nature in any case.
Yeah. She's just munching away at this flatbread while talking to you.
My particular brand of warlockdom is more in line with your style.
I have no idea what that means, but please continue.
I communed with my patron, and they've agreed to help us.
Well, that's excellent.
On one condition. A woman full of youth must sacrifice themselves in order to gain the Fae's favor.
So her face doesn't betray anything. And she says, well, I'm almost 90, but I appreciate the compliment.
You don't look a day over 25.
You want me to kill myself so that you can gain power from your patron?
We can. We won't win this otherwise.
We've won it almost 12 days now.
Look around. Is this winning?
It is as the Green Mother has taught us, that every day that we are alive is a victory for ourselves. I am no military officer. I only know that I claw for every day.
What if we could burst this front line into overgrowth? Take more in a day than you guys have in an entire season.
In a war of 80 years. What makes you think that taking any frontline outpost will make any difference?
Well, it's been 18 years and it hasn't happened since.
80.
I must have misspoke. 80.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Disadvantage?
You're trying to convince her to kill herself.
Yeah.
Spootnik knows what I'm talking about. He's just like, no.
I'm trying to be straight with her instead of being like, hey.
I understand, but
whatever.
the thing you're asking her to do is still horrifying. Sorry, I shouldn't be so. No.
I love the idea that she's just like, look, I'm not gonna kill. Oh wait, it's kicking in. Yeah, I'm into it. Let's go.
She just turns to you and says, I will not end my life here without a struggle. I will not go quietly into this or any night. You are looking for a sacrifice, then look elsewhere. And know that none in this camp will receive you well if you wish to use such dark and fell powers. We cannot defeat the evil of Stalvin Black with more evil.
Have you tried?
Have you?
Not yet. I plan on it.
And what will you sacrifice to gain this army?
I've given my entire life. Many, many times over.
Seem fine to me.
Ask me what my eye color is.
I'm gonna go find someone else.
Okay. Who are you looking for?
Someone shaky.
Someone shaky?
Either someone that like.
No, I got this. Make an insight roll.
Either looking for a way out right now, or someone who has like been here for the last. They know how this is gonna go.
Yeah, go ahead. Make an insight roll. Let's see if you can pick somebody out of the crowd.
Insight's bad. Nope.
No, with a 5? No.
Fuck it. Let's just fight him then.
Let me think.
Like, if the boon isn't going to work, then it's not going to work.
No, I just want to see if I can make this as painful as possible for you.
Women of the camp, do not be deceived.
No, I have a way I could go with this, but it would be so upsetting in the audience. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, no, you look around for people that you think would be easy to manipulate, and everyone here is a stalwart veteran of several nights of battle. No one is ready to go out easy from your eyes, which are not particularly good at picking such details out.
If the battle starts to turn, I'm going to go back to the druid and be like, now or never. When it's clear that like they are dying tonight because the PCs are here. When the PCs show up, everything gets fucked up.
That's remotely true. That's not how the world works.
That is always true in D&D, man. A town could be going fine for centuries, and the PCs show up and it's burned the next day.
That's because the PCs burned it, not because of what.
We didn't burn Flemia.
I mean, his argument still stands, Arthur.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
I love the idea of a world run by bards who have recognized these kind of narrative tropes and set up watchtowers so that when adventurers come, they all flee the town.
What is your hair color? It's blue. Kill us. Protagonist.
Yeah, but if and when it becomes clear that the fight is being lost,
sure, maybe you'll have a better chance of convincing her then.
Yeah.
Okay. If there are no other preparations that you guys want to make, night falls, and give you a chance here. Speak, forever hold your peace before the battle begins.
Let's fucking go, battle juice.
Excellent. Team Battle Juice, we will fight just as soon as we come back from the break in about 8 to 9 minutes. Because we're right there at that halfway point. When we come back, the Battle of Wundersaw will begin. Will they live? Will they die? Will they convince a young woman full of youthfulness to kill herself in order to summon up
90,
some
all right?
I mean, who knows how old that is in elven years.
Yeah, I was going to say she's elven. She's elven. 90 is pretty young.
full of youth. She was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm 8 years old," and he was like, "You don't look a day over 25."
What? What?
Elves last forever, right? I was
That's
making a
not
joke about how young
no.
they are.
Just no.
I'll run over to Spooty. Can I grow that growth potion?
Oh yeah, I forgot I had that.
Oh, if you throw that to Dave and Dave gets big enough to swat them out of the air.
14.
What are we playing? 3.5 or Pathfinder now? Just
Let's go to break.
person.
Yeah. Well.
That actually sounds like a lot of fun. I might try that.
Oh my god.